Hey guys, it's Amy here from Oyster Bay Yoga. Just wanted to share with you today two quick drills that you can try if you are working on hopping back into Chaturanga. So when you're moving through your vinyasa from your Uttanasana forward fold and you're stuck with that hop back. There's a couple of things that you can try to build the strength that's required and build the technique that's required to hop back safely into Chaturanga. So I'll show you a couple of things. If you have yoga mat at home, grab your yoga mat and you can join in with me here, and that's all that we'll need for today. So key to think about when you're hopping back is your core strength. So this is where all your support comes from. It seems like it's a lot of arms, and yes, you do need a little arm strength, but it's more technique as far as that's concerned, and a lot of core stability and strength. So any core exercises that you can do are going to help you in this transition, and there are a few specific drills that you can do. But before we get into the drills, I want to do a quick refresher on your plank pose and on your Chaturanga. What's dangerous about hopping back in general is we tend to lose a little bit of our midsection and our control. So I want you to come into a plank pose to start, setting your hands up mindfully so that they're shoulder distance apart and thinking about being buoyant in the shoulders. So we don't want to sink down into the shoulder joint here. We want to be really, really lifted. So push the mat away from you. And then when you step back into your plank pose, sometimes in class you'll hear a teacher cue that you should have a straight line from the crown of your head all the way out through your heels, and that's fine for holding. But with hopping back, I'd like you to think about bringing the back, your spine, into a tabletop flat position. So you're nice and lifted in your shoulders. The hips may be a little bit higher than you're used to. You're still working that little tuck in the tailbone. It's a little tiny tuck. And you're really drawn in your core. So think about being punched in the gut. You're very engaged and you're very supported by the strength of your abs here. So if you can hold this for up to 5 breaths, and then you'll set the knees down and take a rest. And obviously before you hop back into Chaturanga, you should feel comfortable in Chaturanga. It's that same positioning, that drawn in action in the core, but the elbows are bent and you're hovering. So make sure when you practice your Chaturanga from your plank pose, you take that little lift here, you shift your weight forward, and you bend the elbows back so they come to hopefully a 90-degree angle, hugging them in tight to your side, so no winging here. Hold for 3, 2, 1, push back up, and take a downward facing dog. You can also warm up, like I said, with any core strengthening poses and a few rounds of sun salutation. So let's get into the drills. There are 2 halves that we want to worry about, the upper body and the lower body. So let's tackle the lower body first. We're going to do a little bit of stepping back. So come to the top of your mat as you would for sun salutation. Roll your shoulders back. Take an inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, dive forward. Inhale, you lengthen into your flat back. And exhale, you fold. So pausing in your Uttanasana, I want you to give yourself a little more space between your feet and the top of the mat than you normally would when you're coming through your sun salutation. So when you're first starting this transition, I want you to get your hands out in front of you, and I want you to take a little bend in the elbows and a little bend in the knees. And then from here, our first drill, we're just going to practice shifting our weight into our hands and shifting our weight back. So think crow pose. When we come into crow pose, we hook the elbows and we shift in and we shift out. So it's that same sensation here, but the hips are a little more lifted. So it's just a tiny bend in the knees. The hands are flat, they're shoulder distance. I'm looking forward. I'm shifting my weight into my hands. I feel the core engage, and then I shift my weight back. So if you can, take 10 of these, and you'll start to feel that action in the core, and you'll start to get the sense of what it's like to bear the weight of your body in your arms. And that's the sense we want to get when we're hopping back. Before you hop back, you can work on walking back. So, same sequence. Stand a little bit back from the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold. And then from here, set the hands out in front of you. Okay, it can be a solid foot in front of your feet. Shift your weight into your hands so you're bearing all the weight of your body in your arms here. And then nice and slow, one step at a time, you're going to walk back and ease your way down into your Chaturanga. And then you can move through your vinyasa from here. Take a rest in downward facing dog, and then try it again, stepping or hopping up. Inhale, flat back. Exhale and fold. Give yourself a little space. Set the hands flat. Shift your weight in, looking forward. Engage the core. Walk back 1 inch at a time. Keep the elbows bent and ease your way down. And then move through the vinyasa. You can do this 4 or 5 times to get that sense. And then we'll work a little bit on that catching sensation. So when we hop back to our Chaturanga, we have to catch ourselves with our core strength and with our arm strength. So what you can do to practice building strength and getting that catching sensation are some Chaturanga push-ups. So set up in a modified plank pose. You can bring your heels to your seat, engage your core, so find that lifted sensation like we had in that plank pose. And then you're gonna bend in and catch. And then I want you to work on, normally we'll work to like lower really slowly. See if you can actually lower quickly. Imagine that the weight of your body was coming down into your Chaturanga and you were catching yourself. So it's a little bit quicker, and it's a big catch. A little quicker and catch. Pushing back up. As you're coming through a few rounds of these, just imagine you were catching the weight of your upper body. Okay, and then we'll put the two pieces together. So take maybe 10 rounds there. Take a child's pose and rest. And then we'll try the hop back together. So coming up into your downward facing dog. Looking up, walking or stepping up to the top of the mat. Inhale into your flat back. Exhale and fold. Putting that little bend in the knees. Set the hands out in front of you, about a foot in front of you. Fingers are spread. Look forward. Shift your weight in. Elbows are slightly bent to start. And then practice the catch. Okay, if it's too much for you to jump back right away, you can also try hopping back into a shorter Chaturanga. So, feet on the floor, elbows bent, looking forward, shift in. Maybe you take a tiny hop to start and then walk it back from there. Okay? I hope this was helpful, guys. Try a few of these drills at home and let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, if there's anything you'd like to see me make a video on, please leave a comment below and have a great day. Namaste.